she's a very good combination, and we knew right from the start. Very, very good combination of being a very smart and capable nurse, and also a lot of heart, which is what you want. Gabrielle was 6, and Lynn came in as one of her private duty nurses to help her recuperate from her surgery, which it was a very daunting task for any nurse that would come in at that point in time. Each family that she comes in contact with and each patient that she comes in contact with, I believe she makes them feel as though they are the only patients that she has, or the only clients that she has. And the ability to do that with the amount of, with the caseload that Lynn has, I think is truly amazing. She has had an impact on Gabby's life. I mean, it's multidimensional how it's not just her direct care, it's also her ability as a nurse case manager to research different things that we might need research on. And it's not just with Gabby, it's with the whole family. She's good to my other 2 kids. She's wonderful to me. I broke my ankle a couple years back, and it was on a Sunday. And I had no nursing care for Gabby that night, and I really needed it to move her around. And Lynn was the first, and she was her nurse case manager at that time. She wasn't even a private duty nurse, and she jumped right in and came in that day and did nursing for Gabby on a Sunday without any prior warning, you know. And it was more for me than it was for my daughter, because I needed her there. So she goes the extra mile. And I mean, it's not just here and there, it's time and time again. You can call her, I could call her right now, and I'd get an answer, a thorough, researched answer back in just a couple of hours. I'm just in admiration of the amount of selflessness that she has. I think that's the part, that she's always looking out for everybody else, whether it be her family or the families that she's involved with through her work.
It was 18 years ago. Danny was 9 years old when she first started with us, and she was a perfect fit right off the bat with us. And you could tell right away that she was like an excellent nurse. She was so dedicated to Danny and to, you know, even with us, she was wonderful. She's so knowledgeable about everything. Even now, like when I have questions about certain things with Danny, and she will look it up, and she'll copy it and send it to me and to put in our file for the book. And she's always been there for me when I've had to answer, you know, to answer any questions, or she has always even, you know, always has kept up and checked up on him, even on her days off. She calls, you know, and I know her schedule is so busy now, and she'll make the time to call and check on him. Always right, too. You know, when he would go to the hospital and it was time to him to go, she would know. My whole family really loves Lynn, too, like we do. I remember even on my wedding day, she sent me a bouquet of flowers to the house for me before the wedding. Hopefully, we're going to continue on many more years with you. We are so thrilled about Lynn winning this prestigious award. She is a dedicated and remarkable nurse who has taken care of our son and remained a great friend to Danny and our family over the years. After all these years, she has remained involved in his care as Danny's case manager. To this day, she still goes above and beyond about anything concerning Danny's care. This is what makes Lynn so special and unique. She is truly a role model for all nurses. With her very busy schedule as case manager, she still finds the time to be available if we have any questions about Danny's care. Several times when Danny has been hospitalized, she still takes the time to check up on him, even when it is her day off.
I do have a first memory of her. Our daughter, the night that Lynn showed up for work the first time, our daughter had not been home that long, and she was very sick. She had a lot of cardiac issues. And the night that Lynn was scheduled to come in, she was scheduled to work at 11 o'clock that night. Around about 9 o'clock, we noticed that she was having a lot of trouble breathing. And we didn't have a lot of equipment in the house at the time, so we were trying to ourselves assess whether she really needed to go to the emergency room or not. And Lynn came in and took one look at her and very nicely said, you know, I think we maybe better take a ride up the street. So that was Lynn's introduction to our daughter, Mary Kate. And many, many trips to the emergency followed with Lynn. She's got a very nice way that she doesn't panic anybody. She'll say it very nicely. Yeah, I think we really need to investigate this a little bit further. So for parents that were just starting to deal with these kind of things and really weren't sure what we were doing, she was great. She really was. Lynn was hugely, hugely helpful in helping me to sort everything out and, you know, kind of teaching me the right way to speak with doctors and hospitals and therapists and how to sort of nicely get what we really needed, how to advocate properly for Mary Kate. She just really goes over and above what you would expect anybody, even somebody who's excellent and is very professional and does a fabulous job. Lynn goes one step further than that, always goes one step further. Lynn came to me after about 3 days. She had been to the library in Brockton, the medical library. I guess it's associated with the nursing school that she went to. And she came with this like written report. She'd written up the entire report for me about this infection and, you know, the course that we could expect and the treatment and, you know, things I not only didn't have time for, I would not really have known how to go about getting the information that I needed. And she used to actually listen to breath sounds in her car on the way to work. I always used to get a kick out of that because that was one of Mary Kate's big problems. And she would explain to me, you know, I had my own stethoscope and we would listen together and she would explain to me, you know, whether I was hearing fluid, whether I was hearing, you know, diminished breath sounds, all those kind of things. So she really helped me a lot with that, you know, trying to assess what was actually going on. As Mary Kate got older and progressed, at first it was just strictly like cardiac and respiratory problems, but as she got older, lots of other things that had kind of taken a back burner to these big things started to come forward. And, you know, in the scope of what Mary Kate was dealing with, they were minor problems like orthopedic problems and things like that. And she was forever, you know, looking up all that information as she started to get stronger and, you know, more able to sit up, and then she stood up, and then we started dealing with, you know, one leg was shorter than the other, and actually I had taken her to several different orthopedic doctors who didn't want to treat that, and Lynn was really kind of insistent that she felt strongly that that needed to be addressed in order for her to have enough stability to walk, and Lynn was right on the money with that. She ended up getting a lift on one of her shoes, and it was within 2 weeks that she started walking. She just needed that little bit of extra stability before she could actually take off. And so Lynn was always great with things like that. It was a very chaotic time in our life, and she just, you know, not only did she have a fabulous way with Mary Kate, she was great with my other kids. I can remember her, you know, braiding hair, and at the time we had chickens, and a couple of times she had to chase the chickens out of the front yard. I mean, Lynn would just do whatever was needed of her, with a smile and just such a nice way about her.
She remembers him all the time. With every Christmas, every birthday, he gets a card from Lynn McDonald. So I mean, those things too, really, she never forgets him. And she's been like a friend over the years. Good example for all nurses out there.
And she'll be one to call us up on a Sunday, on a holiday, when you think that she should be spending downtime with her very expansive family and as much as she has going on with them. She is the first to call, and that's what I mean, that she just has a way of making you feel like you're her only family that she's dealing with, but yet it's not, it's just Lynn.